excited to have been selected to participate in the CATCA conference in Washington, D.C. Our intent is to highlight the positive within the city of Mount Vernon and all of the work that the Mount Vernon Communities That Cares Coalition has accomplished over a decade, and also to highlight how we have improved as a city, moving from risk to protective factors. So if you'll indulge me for a moment, Mayor, I'm going to describe to you what we have here and what we will present in terms of a tree. Sir, if you look down here, we have a decaying tree. It represents all of the environmental conditions that result in a decaying tree. So for instance here, we have community disorganization and low neighborhood attachment. What does that mean? We have found that some of our young people do not feel as connected to our city and their community. Now, this is of no fault of government, of teachers, of educators. However, it is the climate that we're experiencing now. So when we look at the decaying roots here, we see these sparse stems here. You will see that a person who is disconnected to their community may have low aspirations to help within their community. You may also find that, they will litter in their community. There is blight within their community. Some may choose to join gangs and commit, acts of violence, use alcohol, just not participate in a positive way in their community because they are detached. Another risk factor that we've looked at is a low perceived risk of harm. And what that means is that we've found through analysis that some of our young people and their parents do not see the correlation between alcohol and academic failure, drug use and crime. We want to make sure that we are addressing all of the risk factors that are here. So if we look at the low perceived risk of harm, we notice that we have, drug use, alcohol use here. Even experimentation with other drugs, such as prescription drugs. If you look at academic failure and academic performance, we know that we've had some struggles within our community here. We've noticed that our young people have low aspirations for academic success. We see here in the branches that is manifested through high dropout rates or poor performance on state exams. So these things, I could go on to talk about all that is at the roots that create this kind of environment. But I'd like to really focus on the solution. So we're going to move from the problem tree here to the solution tree. Okay. We've implemented through the Mount Vernon Communities That Cares Coalition a number of environmental strategies so that our end result will be a better community. One of the things I'd like to call to your attention is our Sticker Shop campaign. Last year, Mayor Davis hosted a gathering with our merchants as well as the press to talk about Mount Vernon's interest in curtailing the use of alcohol within our community, and specifically the sales of alcohol to minors. We used our young people as well as adults to go out to the merchants and talk with them about the importance of not selling alcohol to youth. Our Sticker Shop campaign enabled us to actually put stickers on the shelves in these stores that says, "Do not sell to minors under the age of 21. Here you have a picture of a police officer working with our young men and women. We use youth police communication training so that we can improve our community, curtail some of the violence. Here you see pictures of a playground in Mount Vernon. Our coalition members, along with youth, conducted a community scan to see where there might have been some safety concerns. Here you see blocks that were exposed in the playground. We've taken those blocks, removed them, and worked with Department of Recreation and made sure that the blocks were put in its proper place and there's a safe environment here. Another example is our Adopt a Block campaign, which has been extremely successful. We take a community that we know has, blight as well as crime, and we conduct GIS mapping projects through the use of the planning department and GIS technology. And we've created an overlay of the alcohol outlets and crime to see where there's a correlation between these two elements. And our young people actually were able to select neighborhoods that they wanted to improve based on the technology and the results of the analysis. So here you see young people completing beautification projects. Another point from the Adopt a Block campaign is our resource fair. In that resource fair, we actually go into neighborhoods and provide resources. We increase access to services that are offered through the City of Mount Vernon and the Mayor's office to ensure that all residents have access to services and social supports. So for instance, here, we targeted the Spanish-speaking families. We've been able to, make contact with more than 200 Spanish-speaking parents, and we have translated materials into Spanish so that parents of our young people can come and access services through the Youth Bureau. Another element to Adopt a Block is Family Day, which has been widely successful, and that is to, demonstrate the positive norm of just eating family together, having conversations at the dinner table, and also we provide information on how to reduce the use of alcohol and drugs. And you see here, Mayor Davis joined us. We had approximately 300 folks come out, and we had a great time together. These here are the protective factors. So I talked a little bit about some of the strategies. Here are the protective factors. And when we provide these programs, we know that we are providing rewards for pro-social involvement. It enables the community to give an opportunity to those who think that, government is kind of quartered off, that we don't provide rewards to the community and support pro-social involvement when we actually do. So some of these pictures reflect that, and again, with the Adopt a Block campaign, sticker shop campaigns, the police trainings, we have key leader orientations and training. The mayor hosts a number of, press conferences and evening activities to involve parents. Here we have, more community rewards, but also social skills. So we know in order to move from the risk factor tree to the solution tree, we must provide outlets for our young people to develop their social skills. So we have provided film academies, which enable young people to actually go out, film the community, look at the positive things that are happening. We have employment and training programs that are also funded so that our young people have an alternative to crime. We have events such as Red Ribbon Week, which bring in youth empowerment speakers to encourage young people not to use drugs. We have Black History Challenge, which enables our young people to demonstrate their ability to discuss history and all of the positive, contributions of African Americans. We also have World AIDS Day, which highlights the importance of staying healthy and refraining from, poor decisions in terms of health, sexual activity. We have youth leadership trainings. We have public service announcements that we've created, youth town hall meetings that draw a number of stakeholders and young people to the table to discuss with the mayor and key officials some of the solutions that they'd like to see in their community. And we have our coalition. Our coalition is comprised of a number of agencies, some of which include the mayor's office, the city council, the City of Mount Vernon Youth Bureau, of course, the Mount Vernon School District. You have the Westchester County District Attorney's Office. You have local nonprofits. You have the Mount Vernon Police Department. And I could go on, and you see them here.
Well, this is a very good analysis of where we are. How long did it take you to do this?
Actually, the design and finished product was a few days. However, we have been collecting data for over a number of years. Specifically, for the past 4 years, we have conducted youth development surveys within the middle and high schools to develop a profile. So all of this information is definitely evidence-based. We also use a assessment tool that's been created in-house through the Youth Bureau. And I would say over the last 5 years, we've really been able to strengthen the profile and look at the trends in terms of, what and when our young people become involved with alcohol and substance use. Also when they start to feel as though they're disconnected to the community, and what, impediments they feel in terms of learning.
Well, we look forward to your trip and the dissemination of information, and when we get back, we'll have a debriefing.
Yes.
And please give your staff my best, and thank you for doing a very, not just hard work, but very creative, and it's an intellectual response. Now we can come back and start to work on all of these risk factors and all of the protective factors. And if we can get that out into the community and let them understand that, I think we're on the road to recovery.
There's been so many things that's held us down.
Okay.
But now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go. And where